From connected devices to infrastructure to critical mission systems, Raytheon works across networks, markets, and continents, and defends every side of cyber to make the world a safer place.
Thank you. Everything we've talked about today, the interconnecting of systems, AI, data, all lends itself to a higher cybersecurity risk. So what is the Air Force doing to take a look at that at the very beginning of acquisition versus coming in after the fact and trying to patch that up?
It's a good question, and cyber is something you worry about every day if you do acquisition, because software is in nearly everything. It's embedded in things that 10 years ago had no software. Most things benefit from a developer standpoint by having some amount of code in it, and that is something we're going to have to be mindful of as we develop systems for the future. A lot we can learn from industry about software development practices that are scalable, because scalable practices also have more transparency for doing cybersecurity checks. Industry tries to do things through flat development, where there's not a lot of nested code. Nested's hard, flat is easy, but flat's also easy to run checks on. Industry does a lot of checks inside of their software. So the government historically has thought about networks as things that have a policed perimeter to keep cyber attackers out. And once you're inside the network, you must be a trusted user because you got in, and the system you connected to it must be trusted because it looks okay. Commercial companies do it very differently. Everyone that is on their network is a potential adversary, a potential hostile. And you can run analytics, data checks, even AI inside of networks to determine who is doing something good and normal and usual, and who looks like they're doing something that's unusual. We can learn a lot from that, trying to find the insider or the mal piece of code that is not doing what we would expect. So I guess if there's a historical analog, there are a lot of castles around Europe that are burned down. One massive perimeter is probably not the right way to build a cyber defense. There are a lot of keeps in Europe that are still there. Having multiple layers of security with defenses inside the layers makes a lot of sense. So we need to get on with the way that industry is going and start having defense in depth that's enabled by good software development practices. Probably the biggest focus for me coming into this job is just trying to get where the government is a good software developer. And we've got some great examples of success. AOC Pathfinder is a great example of us truly doing agile development where a month is the standard output of software. But we need to be doing that at scale. So we're looking to expand those lessons learned out of Boston, out of Kessel Run, out of Pathfinder, across the Air Force, so that writ large, our software development looks a lot more like what you'd use commercially and a lot less like what we've developed historically.